Okay, so if you're a product manager, you know this feeling. You're drowning in a sea of frameworks, OKRs, roadmaps, and just this endless list of Jira tickets. You spend all this time building out the perfect structure, but you get this nagging sense that something is just missing.
So let's just ask the question straight up. Does it ever feel like, for all your meticulous planning, the actual human story is completely lost? I mean, you've got this beautiful list of features, but where's the plot? Where's the narrative?
Right? And this is the trap. It's so easy to fall into. We connect every single dot in Jira, but the emotional through line just vanishes. We end up building a product that, yeah, it works, but it doesn't really resonate because it's missing that human story right at its core.
And this is where everything changes. This quote from Jeff Patton, from his book User Story Mapping, is really our North Star here. It's not about who has the longest, most impressive feature list. It's about who deeply, truly understands the user's path from their beginning to their end.
So here's what we're going to do. We're going to walk through 4 powerful shifts from Patton's work that will take you from that total backlog chaos to a crystal clear, coherent user journey. All right, let's jump in. All right, let's start by tackling this backlog chaos head-on. You know, the whole problem is that we see our product as just a list of things to build, when we really should be seeing it as a story we're trying to tell.
And that brings us to shift number 1. And honestly, this might be the most important one. We have to stop thinking of user stories as just a better way to write documentation. They're not. Their real job, their only job, is to start a conversation.
I mean, it sounds simple, but this is a huge change in mindset. You're not just writing a requirement and, tossing it over the wall to engineering anymore. You're using that little story as a spark to get the whole team talking and building a genuine shared understanding together. So think about it. Instead of just writing down, as a user, I want to upload a document, you start digging deeper. You ask, well, when do they want to do this? What just happened right before? What are they going to do right after? And wait, what's the real problem they're actually trying to solve here? These are the questions that build real empathy.
Okay, let's get into our second big shift. Because once you're having these much better, much deeper conversations, you need a place to put it all. You need to actually visualize the journey.
I want you to picture your backlog right now. I'm guessing it's a long, flat, vertical list, right? It might be organized, but it completely shreds the user's flow. Every task is just this lonely, isolated thing, and the big picture, totally gone.
Now, the fix for this is so simple, it's almost genius. First, you lay out the user's journey horizontally, like you're telling a story from left to right. Then, under each of those big steps, you start stacking the details, the features, vertically. And just like that, boom, chaos becomes clarity.
And what this map does, what this visual does, is it completely changes the conversation. The team stops asking, what features are we building next? And they start asking, what user goals are we actually helping someone achieve? You go from being a feature factory to being a true problem-solving team.
All right, shift number 3. This one tackles probably the most misunderstood, most abused term in all of product management, the MVP. We've got to stop focusing on just delivery and start getting obsessed with discovery.
So let's get this straight. An MVP is not the smallest version of your product. It is the smallest experiment you can run to learn if anybody actually cares. The whole point isn't to launch something, it's to learn something.
So now, when you look at that beautiful story map you've built, the question is totally different. It becomes, what's the thinnest possible slice we can build across this entire journey just to see if our big idea is right? Instead of a whole photo editing suite, maybe the MVP is just letting someone upload one photo, apply one filter, and see what it looks like. That's it. It's the fastest path to learning.
And when you start thinking this way, the benefits are just massive. You save so much time building stuff nobody wanted. The pressure on the team just melts away because you're not trying to launch something perfect. And the most important part, the speed at which you learn and get better goes through the roof.
Which brings us perfectly to our fourth and final shift, the one that really ties all of this together. This is not a solo mission. Story mapping is a team sport, period.
And I'm going to say this as clearly as I possibly can. If you are ever building a user story map by yourself in a room, you're doing it wrong. The map itself isn't the point. The shared understanding the team builds while making it, that's the prize. Think about it. When you get engineers, designers, marketing, customer support, everybody, in the same room mapping this journey out together, you're tapping into the team's collective genius. You're going to find out about technical hurdles, you'll hear brilliant design ideas, you'll learn about customer pain points you never would have seen on your own. It's that process that builds alignment, not the document.
So there it is, 4 huge shifts to take you from the chaos of a flat backlog to the beautiful clarity of a real user journey.
So let's just recap and really nail these 4 shifts down. We're going from writing requirements to sharing stories, from a flat, dead backlog to a living, breathing user journey, from treating MVPs as a finish line to using them as the starting gun for learning. And, maybe most importantly, we're going from working alone in a silo to truly building together as a team.
And that's really the heart of it. The real question isn't what you learned here, it's what you're going to do with it. What's the one conversation, just one, that you can start tomorrow to get closer to your user's real story?